If you want to know how to get your tracks insanely loud with 3 steps, fake your layers, ad-libs, and even fake your features without having to leave your desk or hit anybody up, this is your video. Let's go. Alright, you guys need to stop using only delay plugins. To further explain this, whenever you make a delay send, by clicking this button right here and adding your delay, you guys have to be using a unique effective plugin with some kind of presets. This way you can make delays nobody's ever heard of. One plugin I use is called Portal Radial Flutter. This is before.
Niggas, I'm cool by myself just for now.
And this is after.
Niggas, I'm cool by myself just for now.
And a different one.
Niggas, I'm cool by myself just for now.
Plugin I like using for this is Guitar Rig 6. Use the Will This Never End preset. This is before.
Niggas, I'm cool by myself just for now.
This is after.
Niggas, I'm cool by myself just for now.
Had a pretty cool tail effect there. And then I've got another Guitar Rig preset right here.
Cool by myself just for now.
That's the detune filter delay.
My bad for real. Might have to go in my A for a while. Honestly, I don't even fuck with you bitch ass niggas. I'm cool by myself just for now.
Ear candy keeps people coming back for more and increases streams. One of my favorites is using a guitar amp plugin to get like this rock star sound effect. Okay, first off, you're going to want to select the part that you want to throw the effect on. Then you're going to want to click this button down here, this recording grainer arm tracks to WAV file. And you're going to retro duplicate to a mixer channel down here where you're going to copy my effect. So for the main effect, you can use any guitar amp plugin. Just literally Google like guitar amp plugin. But the one I use is Guitar Rig 6. It's the Beautiful Dirt preset.
She come over, I cry.
And then just turn the mix level down some.
She come over, I cry.
Next, throw in an EQ to kind of tone it some.
She come over, I cry.
Then throw some reverb on.
She come over, I cry.
And another EQ to kind of boost the high end and just do some more toning.
She come over, I cry.
And then a chorus. I just did this as extra just to kind of spread it out some.
She come over, I cry.
And now what you want to do is do the fade. So you're going to put your cut here, here, and you have the original here.
She come over, I cry.
And then the edited one here.
She come over, I cry.
What you want to do is you want to fade between them. So you're going to use the faders and slide in like here, like this, and just kind of play with it until it sounds good.
She come over, I cry. Yeah, I fall. She come over, I cry.
Okay, so I can get any track loud in 3 steps. Add a virtual tape machine by Slate Digital. Keep everything default. Click on the settings right here and then turn the bass alignment down to about 3.5. This will lower the bass because often when you can't get it loud, it's because there's a little too much bass. Next, you're going to want to open up an Ozone 10 or find 2 limiters with ceiling parameters. You're going to want to put on a vintage limiter, put the ceiling at -2.5 and go ahead and max that out.
Big, don't make a sound. I'm on my gang and we smoking aloud. She gonna slide, she tell me she down. She pulling up and I'm blowing it down.
Essentially, this is peak control. Next, you're going to want to maximize it with a maximizer. Set the ceiling at about -0.1, finish it off with another dB of limiting.
Big, don't make a sound. I'm on my gang and we smoking aloud. She gonna slide, she tell me she down. She pulling up and I'm blowing it down. Big, don't make a sound. I'm on my gang and we smoking aloud.
Those 2 limiter combos and that virtual tape machine are going to give you an insane amount of loudness. Alright, next, if you don't have a good beat mix, your song is never going to work. This is easy with stems, but if you only have a beat off YouTube, for example, you can still enhance it with sends. I typically create a high and low send. Let me remind you, all you have to do to create a send is click this button right here. For the high end send, all I do is add an EQ to first solo the high end sound. So if we unlink this right here, you can see that. So this part is being layered over the beat. Next, I want to throw on a fruity flanges, however you say it, I have no idea. And I just use these things. Kind of spreads it out some. Then I use reverb, just a very little bit. Then I turn the stereo separation all the way to the left. And now let's reroute our beat so we can hear it layered on top now. Make sure your routing looks like this right here. This is before. This is after. Extra smoothness to the top end of the beat. Now for the low chain right here, I do the same thing where I EQ the mid frequencies right here, just like that. And now we're gonna add this plugin called Magic Dice. It's a free plugin by Baby Audio. All you gotta do is click it and it randomly generates an effect. That sounds like this now. And now if we reroute it like this so we can hear the beat and the low layered together. And again, make sure your routing looks like this. This is before both of them. This is after both of them. So it really fills up everything and makes it wider. Your reverb is often killing your mixes. Let me explain. Create a send. Then you want to apply your reverb plugin. But instead of messing with the high pass and low pass, what you want to do, put an EQ directly after. And then this is a trick. Play the beat, vocals, and the reverb turned all the way up, and then EQ it while all that's playing. EQ your reverb until it doesn't sound muddy anymore.
I said I wanna go make it, what's he though? Many niggas be hating, I beat though. I'm off on making money, I don't answer calls, so niggas don't be having time. Many industry niggas be fake as the phone, and think that's the same as we run.
And now you can turn it down until it sounds good.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though? Many niggas be hating, I beat though. I'm off on making money, I don't answer calls, so niggas don't be having time.
So this is before the EQ.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those.
So as you can see, the reverb is pretty audible. You want it to be present, not necessarily audible. So now we turn it back on.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though?
Ultimately, this allows you to turn up the reverb more without muddying up the track because there's no bad frequencies in the reverb send. This video is sponsored by SonarWorks. Their soundid reference plugin is the best plugin to have. If you don't have optimal monitoring conditions, like you don't have really professional speakers, you don't have professional headphones, one of those things, it allows you to turn even AirPods into a really good monitoring system. When you first download the plugin, it'll allow you to actually calibrate the device you're using to listen on. For example, up here, you click on add headphones, you can search for AirPods, Apple, right here, AirPods Max. Select profile, it'll flatten it out for you, give you a studio version of those headphones.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though? Many niggas be hating, I beat.
I'm sure this sounds definitely very different for those listening on normal headphones, but if you're listening on Apple AirPods Maxes, for example, it'll sound super flat. So switch back to mine, since I'm using the M50Xs.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though?
So right now I'm hearing the totally flat version of my M50Xs, which would be great for checking your mix. Next, it has a translation check. You can see what it'll sound like in a car.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those.
So you can instantly hear something's gonna be way too loud. For example, you can hear if the snare is gonna be too loud, you can hear if the vocals are gonna be way too loud and sitting on top of the beat instead of inside the beat like they should. You're gonna hear if the bass is gonna be way too loud. Really good for checking your levels. You can try laptop speakers.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though? Many niggas be hating, I beat though. I'm off on making money, I don't answer calls, so niggas don't be having time. Many industry niggas be fake as the phone, think that's the same.
They actually just came out with their virtual monitoring add-on. And if you don't have studio monitors, this is going to be insanely helpful. So it allows you to hear on 3 different types, a near field, mid field, and far field setup.
What the fuck you be looking at me for? 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝔂, yeah nigga, we keep those. Said I wanna go make it, what's he though? Many niggas be hating, I beat though. I'm off on making money, I don't answer calls, so niggas don't be having time. Many industry niggas be fake as the phone, and think that's the same.
That is insane. Might I also add that this plugin can be literally just added to Windows itself. You can open it up and you can turn on virtual midfield. So whenever you put your headphones, no matter what sound, even if it's YouTube playing on your PC, it'll convert through soundid reference. Okay, so let's say the producer was high off their ass and turned the snare up like 800 decibels higher than it should have been. Then he got evicted from his mommy's basement and had to sell his laptop to pay for the sofa he spilled vodka all over. So he can't really send you the stems. Just use soothe to target those specific sounds. You can use any multi-band EQ. You can often hear this in hi-hats, snares, and claps. You're right around 2 to 4K. Right there. Before. After. This is definitely the best plugin I've found for doing that kind of stuff. Alright, this one is obvious but never thought of. You as an engineer or artist always have the ability to add to the beat. Grab a random drum kit off YouTube. I'm going to use this one right here. Go in, you can add hi-hats, you know, literally just build a hi-hat pattern on top of the beat. There's no reason you can't do this. You can make the kick harder by just layering kicks onto the beat already there. Or what I like to do in this case is I'll find a percussion loop. You know, there's lots of good drum kits out there. Just download a free one and make sure it has a perk loop section. So now it sounds like this. Before. Really add some good rhythm.
What the fuck's wrong with your friends? They keep on hanging around me on God. It's like they know I got been. Time after time, pouring up a little purple inside of my cup. Yeah, I fall.
With AI, you You can fake layers, ad-libs, and features without having to re-record anything, hit anybody up, or leave your desk. Let me explain what this means exactly. There's this plugin called soundid voice AI. Basically, you want to select the part that you want to process, so that's going to be this section right here. Click on capture and then play your audio.
They keep on hanging around me, young God. It's like they know I got banned. Time after time, pouring up a little purple inside of my...
Now we want to click on start processing. It's going to process the audio. It doesn't take very long. Now the AI voice is enabled, so when you play it,
time pouring up a little purple inside of my cup. Yeah, I fall. She come over, I call. Like this bar.
I could even make him sound like a country singer or something like that.
Hanging around me, young God. It's like they know I got banned. Time after time, pouring up a little purple inside of my cup. Yeah.
As you see, he has a really loose pronunciation. Vowels are kind of stretched out and lazy. AI picks up on that and makes it sound really similar. Another thing that you can do is actually record the AI. All you want to do is add an Edison to your master right here.
Yeah, I fall. She come over, I call.
And you want to drag it on, just like that. Line it up some, and then right here, we're going to route it to a mixer chain that I made. All it is a wider plugin right here, set to 200%, an EQ, cut out some mids, and then a reverb with a tiny bit of chorus. Now you layer them.
What the fuck's wrong with your friends? They keep on hanging around me, young God. It's like they know I got banned.
You can even cut them up.
What's wrong with your friends? They keep on hanging around me, young God. It's like they know I got banned. Time after time, pouring up a little purple inside of my cup. Yeah. What the fuck's wrong with your friends? They keep on hanging around me, young God. It's like they know I got banned. Time after time, pouring up a little purple inside of my cup. Yeah, I fall.
And you can use this for ad-libs and features, like I said earlier. Stop soloing your channels. Let me explain. You can make a specific layer sound really, really good on its own all you want, but it doesn't mean it's going to translate in the mix as the frequency responses change. Always do your sculpting and mixing while the entire song is playing. So when you're first creating a preset, for example, it's always good to solo. You can totally do that. But when you're mixing everything in and trying to balance things and trying to fit things in the mix, never solo. It's a good thing to keep in mind. Let me know what you guys thought of the video and what tips you guys had to show off as well in the comments. Peace.